Hi everyone, so it's been a little while since I checked in with you, so I thought I'd pop on here and give you a little bit of a reading update. I can't 100% remember the last time that I spoke to you, but I know that I was still reading House of Salt and Sorrows, which I have since finished. So I have now finished this book and I really enjoyed this one. This was such a page turner. I definitely think this is the kind of book that a lot of people could finish in a day if you're a faster reader than me, because the suspense that's built across the book is so great and it will just have you flipping through the pages. So yeah, this was a really fun read, and the last 100 pages or so were a wild ride. There were twists and turns all over the place, there were reveals that I didn't see coming, and it was just thoroughly entertaining. I will say that some of the fantasy elements were a little bit outlandish for me, and there were definitely quite a few things that were left unexplained. Like, I would have liked a little bit more from the world building and things like that, but all in all this was a really enjoyable standalone fantasy book, and I would definitely recommend it to you if you're looking for something creepy to pick up this Halloween, because this was really scary actually. I was surprised by how gruesome some of the bits were in this book, so don't pick this one up if you're squeamish. But I really enjoyed that about this book. There was also a little bit of a romance in here, which I think will appeal to a lot of people. I personally didn't feel like the romance needed to be in there, because I think the love between our main character and her sisters was compelling enough, and I just don't think we really needed that romance plot line, and it wasn't that developed and I wasn't that invested in it, to be honest. I was much more invested in the whole mystery element to this book and just finding out what was going on. But I do think the romance will appeal to a lot of people, so yeah, that's definitely in there. And yeah, all in all I had a really fun time with this one and thought the world was really creative as well, and I just loved the atmosphere in this book. It was so interesting. So yeah, I would highly recommend this if you're looking for a book to pick up this autumn. And since I finished that one, I started reading Fable by Adrian Young. So this is another fun YA book. This one is a little bit more kind of light-hearted, I suppose. It's definitely not a horror, but in this book we follow our main character Fable, who is a 18-year-old girl, I think, and we find out that she was abandoned on this island a couple of years ago. Her father, who is actually a captain of a ship, actually abandoned her on this island for some reason. I think he said something like he didn't think that she was cut out for a life on the sea, so he kind of just left her on this island. She had to very much fend for herself on this island, and it's a pretty dangerous place to be because it's full of kind of thieves and people who you can't trust, and she's had to make her way in this world that she's in. And the way that she earns her money is by diving, by doing this deep sea diving, and by collecting kind of precious gems that are hidden at the bottom of the ocean, and then she sells those for a profit. But it's dangerous work, because if people find out that you've got money or that you've got precious gems hiding, then they will, you know, follow you and steal your goods and things. So she's had to be pretty crafty, and yeah, her main motive is basically to get off the island. She wants to basically go and hunt down her father and to prove to him that she does have what it takes to basically live a life on the sea, and that she is capable of being able to fend for herself and to get off the island. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with this story. I'm quite enjoying it. There's nothing too oh, that was awkward. I just had some people walking past our room and I just felt really awkward talking to the camera. I can't remember what I was saying, but basically I'm having a fairly fun time with this one. I don't think it's going to be anything groundbreaking, but I'm enjoying it so far, and it's perfect for reading on holiday because there's lots of gorgeous descriptions of the sea and of this island, and of obviously our main character diving down into the ocean to get these gemstones and everything. So it's perfect to read on a beachy holiday, so I'm enjoying it for that reason. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm expecting it to have a little bit of a romance in there, and I'm expecting it just to be a fun time, and I'm here for it. So yeah, I'm enjoying that one so far, and I guess I'll check in with you when I have an update to talk to you about.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help
Good morning. So I'm speaking on Ellie's behalf. She's really hurt her tongue somehow, and she can't eat really without pain, and she can't speak without pain, unfortunately. So she's having like an aerial moment where she's silent. But we're on our way for breakfast, and it's Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Hello again. We just had breakfast and then we went to the infirmary for Ellie's throat, and they're getting a doctor to come to our room actually, which is good. We thought we were gonna have to like get a taxi out somewhere to a doctor or something, but no, they said within the hour they're gonna send someone to our room to have a look at you and give you some meds, probably antibiotics or something. So hopefully that'll help and she'll be feeling better and she'll be able to talk again. I'm being her spokesperson in the meantime. So Ellie has just kind of gestured that she would normally be talking about her book right now, so I'm going to try and do that for her. I haven't obviously read it. Literally all I know about it is it's called Fable, so I'll give you my honest opinion because she's quite far through. It's good overall. There's been twists and turns. Definitely didn't expect that Marcus would turn out to be an android. That was a real twist for me. But now that I've read it back, it does, you know, I can see the signs. And the setting is good. I didn't really think that a fast food restaurant would be a good basis for a fantasy story, but it works. You know, the author really pulled it off. But using fried food as a plot device was just inspired. So overall I would give it 3 3/4 out of 5. So far. I haven't finished it yet.
I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. Forever. Forever.
Good morning. I'm still Ellie's voice. We had a doctor come out yesterday to see Ellie, and she said she reckons it's tonsillitis. So yeah, but she's been given all sorts of pain meds and throat spray and antibiotics, so she's taken everything. And she was feeling a bit better yesterday. You're a bit bad in the morning now, aren't you?
It's okay after I take the medication.
Oh, it sounds okay. But it seems like you get better throughout the day, so hopefully she'll be able to speak a bit later and give you an actual book review.
Hi everyone. So it's been a little while since I've spoken to you. It's been quite a few days actually, because I've actually not been very well, as you will have heard from Danny. I just had a really painful throat, and like the back of my tongue was really painful, but I've been given some medication. It's tonsillitis. I've been given some hefty pain meds and I've taken them, and for the moment I can actually speak, which is quite a novelty. So I thought quickly pop on here whilst my throat isn't too bad to chat with you about books. So I haven't done a whole ton of reading because I've not really been able to focus a whole lot on reading, but I did finish Fable and it was okay, it was all right. I don't think it was particularly amazing, but I enjoyed the setting. It was perfect for being on holiday because obviously it was kind of like a piratey story. We've got this girl who was abandoned on an island as a young girl, and she had to kind of fend for herself and to save up enough coin to be able to pay for passage on a ship to go and hunt down her father, basically, and to take back what was rightfully hers. Some of the writing and some of the descriptions were really nice. The only thing I would say is I was expecting it to be a little bit more action filled, and I didn't find that the plot was particularly engaging. It felt like the whole book was basically just set up, like not a huge amount actually happened, which is a little bit of a shame, and it ends on a cliffhanger, which is a little bit annoying because I'm probably not going to be carrying on with the series. But the world was quite cool. It was, as I say, quite atmospheric in terms of it being set on the sea and everything. We do follow her as she kind of goes on board this ship called the Mayflower, and I was expecting there to be a bit more of a found family feel on the Mayflower, but unfortunately some of the side characters just really weren't that memorable to me, and I found it quite hard to distinguish between the different characters because they're not described that well. There is a bit of a romance in there which I did enjoy, but it was very slow paced. It was definitely a slow burn. We didn't really get any romance until right towards the end, and although it was so slow paced, the romance, it also felt kind of sudden in that our two sort of love interest characters didn't really interact that much, and then suddenly we're supposed to believe that they are like in love. I don't know, I wasn't super into it, to be honest with you, but I did enjoy it for the most part. You know, it was perfect to read on holiday given the setting. So, and then after I finished that one, I actually started a novella on my Kindle which is called The Deep, which is written by Rivers Solomon. And this is a really interesting novella actually because it talks about generational trauma, or it uses the fantasy genre to discuss generational trauma, and it's really interesting because basically it follows this group of mer people, so people who live in the ocean, like kind of like mermaids I guess, but their history is that they are descendants of slaves that were tossed overboard. So basically slave ships that were bringing slaves across the ocean would toss over pregnant slaves basically to be drowned, which is obviously very traumatic. And the idea is that these mer people evolved from the children of these mothers who were tossed overboard, and I guess they kind of adapted to become water breathers. You have to suspend your disbelief quite a lot with this one, but it's an interesting concept because the idea is that the community of these mer people have such a traumatic past that it's too much for them to remember. So basically all of the mer people lose their memories intentionally, because it would just be too painful for them to hold on to those memories, so they all kind of forget. They have this group amnesia, I suppose, and there's just one person who is known as the historian, who is the keeper of these memories, and they're the only person in the community who remembers their whole past, and it's their job to keep these memories. Obviously that's an incredibly difficult job to have because you have to you know, have all of these really traumatic memories all the time, and it's incredibly straining. And then once a year the historian parts this knowledge or shares these memories with the rest of the community, because the idea is that if you don't know where you come from, you're always going to have that itch, that kind of feeling like you want to know. So once a year the historian shares these memories with the rest of the community so that they can have this knowledge of where they came from, and they hold on to that knowledge for just a couple of days, and then they give it back to the historian so that everyone else can live their life in peace and not have to you know, live with the pain of these memories. So yeah, so it's a really interesting concept. I haven't read too much so far. I'm only about 25% of the way through. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure I'm enjoying it because it's quite a heavy subject, I suppose, but I think it's very, yeah, just very interesting. So I'm looking forward to carrying on with that one and seeing where it goes, and the discussions that it has. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit and I'm going to read that, and I'm going to enjoy having a voice for now while my painkillers are working. And yeah, then I think we're going to go in the pool and just enjoy being here, because we've only got a couple of days left. Which is very sad, because we've been having such a lovely time. Even though I've been a little bit unwell with my throat, it hasn't ruined it too much. Like, I haven't been feeling super unwell or anything, and I mean, I'm in paradise, so I really can't complain. I'm still having a fantastic time. And yeah, the people here are amazing. The wildlife is also amazing. There's these birds that fly around everywhere, and we've seen we went on a glass bottom boat and we saw loads of marine life, and at night there's these huge bats that fly around, and you can see them really clearly because of the lights that are lighting up the hotel. So we just sit in the hammock and look up and see these amazing bats, and it's just incredible here, and the people here are so friendly, and yeah, it's been so lovely. So right, I'm gonna go before my throat gives in, but I hope that you're enjoying this video, and I will check in with you later. This view is never gonna get old, is it?
No.
It's so pretty. I'm going for lunch now in a restaurant called the Bodrum Blue, which is right on the water.
It's nice.
It's really nice. We've been there before and we're going back.
Oh, you found it! That's fun. Do you want me to open it? Oh no.
Hi everyone, so it is the evening of our final night, which is very sad. It's gone so quickly, but we've had such a fantastic holiday. It's been so lovely. But I thought I'd better pop on here and actually talk to you about some books that I've been reading. So I actually started and finished The Deep, which is a novella. I think I might have given you a vague premise of the story when I started reading it. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It was definitely very unique. It felt very creative in the way that it was presented, and it's definitely a novel that I will have to reread, and it's the kind of story where you'll take something new from it every time you read it, if you know what I mean. It felt very kind of like a concept piece rather than a straight narrative, if that makes any sense. But I enjoyed the discussions that it had. I enjoyed the creativity of it. I liked that it was a little bit different from things that I've read previously, and yeah, it talks a lot about a lot of different themes really. It's quite a small book, but it definitely packs a punch. It obviously talks about trauma in particular, like shared trauma, and it talks about a lot of moral questions and the pain of the past and how to overcome trauma and how to overcome your past and how to move on from something tragic and how to support one another. It talks about community, and there's also a little bit of a romance in there as well that I was surprised about but did enjoy. And yeah, it was just a really interesting book. I feel like I need to just sit on it for a little while and just gather my thoughts about it before I can give a true sort of wrap up, I suppose, of it. But yeah, it was definitely really interesting. It was definitely quite moving and quite poignant, and yeah, as I say, I'll have to think on it and be more concise with my words when I do a proper wrap up. But yeah, I would recommend it to you if you're looking for something quick and for something that's a little bit different. Be warned, it does have obviously lots of trigger warnings in there, and it does deal with some heavy topics. So yeah, that was that one. And then since I finished that one, I started a new book. So I started Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. So this one is actually a horror book, and this one is also a water-based fantasy horror book. So you can tell that I'm on a theme here with all of my watery-based fantasy books that I've been picking up this holiday. But yeah, I thought the premise of this one sounded so fascinating. This is basically about a ship that was on a mission to film a mockumentary. So it's like a fake documentary about trying to discover whether mermaids exist, and the mockumentary actually ended up going missing, and none of the bodies were ever recovered. So there's this big kind of mystery around it, and there's lots of sort of hush about it. A lot of the footage that was taken on board has been hidden away and isn't being shown to the public. And yeah, we're basically following the sister of one of the girls who was on this mockumentary ship, and she is obviously wanting to find out what happened, and she's dedicated her life to marine biology and to uncovering the secrets of the deep, and we're basically following her story. And I think where it's going is we're going to end up going down and finding out what happened to this ship, which is very creepy because it's obviously a horror book that's set underwater. And it also says on the back here that they'll discover that whatever is down there is definitely no joke. So I think we're going to get lots of sea creatures and things like that. And I will say that the horror elements are right there from the beginning. So in the first bit, even before we get to chapter 1 and just the setup of the story, we already get some pretty graphic horror type scenes, which yeah, just throws you straight in. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 50 pages through, I think, and I'm having a good time with it. So yeah, looking forward to carrying on with that one. Anyway, I've got to head off now because we've got dinner booked. So we're going to go out and enjoy our last meal and then head to bed. We do actually have quite a long day tomorrow because we're not leaving until the evening. Our transfer comes at 5, so we do have the whole day to enjoy tomorrow as well, which is great. But yes, I'm going to sign off now, but I will speak to you hopefully tomorrow. Hi everyone, so it is our last day here in paradise and I'm about to go on a seaplane which is going to be amazing, but I'm also feeling a little bit anxious about it, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So yeah, we're just waiting on the beach for takeoff. Hi everyone. So it is the last day and I have just had an amazing experience. I went on a seaplane and flew over the coast of Mauritius and it was absolutely stunning. It was absolutely incredible. It like didn't feel real, but it was such an amazing way to end this fantastic holiday. We are not getting picked up until 5, so we've just had some lunch. I think the plan is now to go and just to freshen up, get changed, and then maybe sit and get one last cocktail before we have to leave, which is very sad, but we've had such an amazing time. And yeah, hopefully one day we'll come back to Mauritius because it's such an amazing country. So yeah, anyway, better head off now, but I will check in later on. Stop at the Tree of Wishes to make a wish before we leave. What are you going to wish for?
Cheers.
To the end of our holiday.
Yeah, sad, but happy.
Hi everyone, so I am home now and I just wanted to pop on here and round out this video and also talk about some books because I did actually end up reading a book on the plane that I wanted to chat to you about. But before I dive into all that, I just wanted to say I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bit weird in this clip because I think there's actually something wrong with my camera. Like I think something happened to it when we travelled. It doesn't seem to be focusing right and the lighting's a bit off, so I'm really sorry about that. But yes, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I had such a fantastic holiday. It was so special and such a lovely place to celebrate our 30th birthday. So before I pop off, I just wanted to let you know that on the plane I read a novella and I really enjoyed it. So the novella is called The Empress of Salt and Fortune. I read it on my Kindle. So this one is written by Ni Vo and it's a fantasy novella, and this one was so good. I really enjoyed it, but it's very short, so I'm not going to say too much about the plot for this one because I feel like otherwise I'll basically be telling you the whole story. But all I'm going to say is that it follows a cleric and she is gathering information about a empress who recently passed away, and on her journey she ends up finding this old woman and they have a conversation together, and the old woman turns out to be the empress's old handmaiden, and she provides the cleric with some really lovely stories about her life, and it's basically all about that really. I feel like that's all you need to know. I will say I think the focus isn't so much on the plot, it's much more a celebration of storytelling, and it's definitely really wonderful in the way that it's written as well. I think the writing style is definitely the standout thing for me. It's one of those writing styles that I think is going to be a bit hit and miss for people. You're either going to love it or you hate it because it's very whimsical in the way that it's told. It feels very much like a sort of fairy tale. I thought that it was really beautiful in the way that it was presented, and I also really love the focus on female friendships in this novella as well, because I feel like that's something that's not often discussed in books. So it's really lovely to have a novella that focuses in very much on female relationships, be that friendships, platonic or romantic, and it's also a really inclusive book as well. So yeah, I highly recommend that one if you like sort of whimsical writing, and if you like novellas and stories that focus in on storytelling, then give that one a try because I think that you'll really enjoy it. Okay, and then before I head off and round out this video, I also just wanted to do a little bit of an unboxing because I did actually get quite a few packages in the post whilst I was away, and I'm pretty sure these are all books. So I thought it would be really fun to end this video with an unboxing and to share that with you because it's always exciting opening things together. So yeah, let's crack them open. It's a beautiful cover. Okay, so this is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I forgot that I ordered this one actually, but this is a beautiful hardcover, and the reason why I got this book is because I really enjoyed some of the books that Adeline Grace has written previously. So I read All the Stars and Teeth by this author a couple of years back now actually, and I was really impressed with the writing style. It was so imaginative and vivid in the world building and the setting, and it was so creative. And so when I saw that she was bringing out another book, I was just like, I have to get my hands on this one. And it says here that it's a deliciously deadly gothic romance. That is like tick 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 for me. I love gothic stories, love a bit of romance, and I just think this is going to be so fun. Okay, let's crack this open. Oh, it's got sprayed edges. It's got sprayed edges. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. This is the second book in a fantastic middle grade fantasy series. I read the first one when it came out, and this one's actually signed by the author and has sprayed edges, which is so fun. Oh yes, this is gorgeous. Oh, I'm so excited. And Under the Dust Jacket as well is really, really cool. So the first book I have also has this sort of glittery effect on the hardcover. So yes, it's so pretty. Oh, I'm so excited to read this one. This is one of my favorite middle grade worlds. So in the first book we follow our main character Mari, who is a young girl, and her brother has gone missing and has been presumed dead for several years. The police have kind of given up hope and they've stopped searching for him, but Amari thinks that it isn't that simple, and she's insistent that her brother is still out there somewhere, and so she decides to sort of investigate really what happened to him. And she ends up finding this briefcase in his bedroom, and in the briefcase contains an invitation that's for her eyes only, and it's inviting her to this secretive bureau. I think it's called the Bureau for Supernatural Affairs, and she finds out that her brother was actually a member of this secret bureau, and she basically follows in his footsteps to try and find out what happened to him. And she enters for a position within the secret bureau, and she finds out that there is this whole fantasy world that she didn't realize was real, where she finds out that all manner of fantasy creatures like werewolves and fairies and anything you can think of are actually real, but they're all kept hidden from humanity for their own safety. And she enters into a series of trials to win a place in this bureau, and she uncovers secrets, and it's just so fun. So I highly recommend this series if you haven't checked it out already. And yeah, I'm just so happy to have this one in my collection. So yeah, very purple book so far. I'm loving it. Okay, so that was that one. Oh, I feel like it's my birthday or something opening all these presents, packages. Right, so we've got another one from Waterstones. Let's see what this one is. The thing is, I pre-order books and then I forget what I've pre-ordered, so it's like a nice surprise when they come. Oh my goodness. Look what I've just seen opening it. Those are like stenciled sprayed edges. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Oh, I think I know what this is actually. I think this might be a book from TJ Klune. Oh, it's so pretty. So this is Wolf Song by TJ Klune, and it's the Waterstones exclusive signed edition. Oh my goodness, this is so stunning, and the stenciled edges are just the highlight of the show. Oh my goodness. So I have read The House in the Cerulean Sea, and I've read Under the Whispering Door by this author, and I've enjoyed them both, so I'm really keen to read more of their works. And I've never actually read this one. I believe this one was published quite a while ago, and it's just been kind of given a revamp. And so when I saw this gorgeous edition coming out on Waterstones, I just had to get my hands on it because I want to to read all of TJ Klun's books. So yeah, I'm so excited. This one is also signed, which is so special. And yeah, it's the Waterstones exclusive edition. It's like bright orange on the inside. Oh, so exciting. It's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be actually. It's quite a hefty, chunky book, this one, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. And I can't wait to read it. So yeah, so happy with that one. What a lovely thing to come home to, and they're all really stunning editions as well. They're all gorgeous hardcovers, which I love. Oh, I'm so excited to read these ones. Ooh. So yeah, that's it from me for this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us on this special holiday. And yeah, I hope you're having a fantastic time, whatever it is that you are doing, and bring on autumn. Now that I'm home, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for autumn now. Bring out all the cozy things, and I'm just so excited to read all the spooky cozy books. So look out for lots of autumn content on my channel coming up soon. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time with another video. Bye!